Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about parallel lines cut by transversals and the types of angles that they create. Now, before we get into that per se, we are going to recall obtuse angles. And you should remember that these are angles that are greater than 180. So they're going to be the big ones. And I know right now it might not make sense, but I just need you to bear with me. We're going to put obtuse equals obtuse. Okay. The other type of angles that we're going to be talking about are called acute angles. Okay, and we know that these angles are less than 90 degrees. Okay, these are going to be less than 90 degrees. And in this instance, acute is going to equal acute. Other times in here, in this section, you are going to see an obtuse angle and an acute angle. And you need to know that when you see these together, they are going to form what is called a supplementary angle. And that is just a fancy word to mean 180 degrees. Okay, so I'll leave that for just a second. Now, if you're not familiar what parallel lines cut by a transversal look like, it is this diagram right here. You have the parallel lines R and S, and that transversal T is cutting them. Okay, it's a very literal. The best thing to tackle this section is to look at the words and kind of dissect them. So we are going to start with alternate interior. Now that word alternate is going to mean opposite. Okay, and interior, you've heard that before. A lot of you, if you have cars, you go and get your interior detailed, which is the inside of your car. So we're looking for the opposite insides. So the inside would be the inside of the parallel lines. So these numbers right here, 4, 3, 5, and 6. Now, if we're talking with the opposite, that means on the opposite side of the transversal. So for example, angle, and I'm going to use that, angle 4 and angle 6 are what are called Angle 6 are alternate interior angles, okay? Now, if we look at angle 4, that is a big angle. So that is an obtuse angle. So I'm going to put O. If I look at that 6, that is a big angle as well, or obtuse. So remember when we did obtuse equals obtuse? If both of them are obtuse, I'm going to put O equals O. Okay? Now there is another set of alternate interior angles, and that is going to be angle 3 and angle 3 and angle 5. It is on the opposite side of where that 3 is at, okay? Opposite sides. So if I look at 3, 3 is a small angle, or it is the acute angle. And if I look at angle 5, that is also acute. So we go back to my reference, acute equals acute. So I'm going to write equals A. So we can say that based on this, if 4 and 6 were the same and 3 and 5 were the same, we can say that alternate angles are also the same, or the better word would be to say that they are congruent. Okay, that is the math term for the same. Okay, now if we're talking about alternate interior, well, when we talk about alternate exterior, that is going to be the opposite. This time we're talking about the opposite outside. So that means we're going to come outside of the parallel line. So I'm using angles 1, 2, 8, and 7. You are going to pick an angle. I'm going to pick angle 1. And the alternate exterior to 1 is that 7. They are on opposite sides of the transversal outside. So that is angle 7. Now, if I look at angle 1 and angle 7, I can tell that they are both small angles or my acute angles. So A is going to be equal to A. My other set of alternate exterior angles is going to be angle 2 and the alternate exterior, so what's on the opposite side, would be that angle 8. So if I look at angles 2 and 8, I can see that those are both big angles or both obtuse. So I'm going to put O is equal to O. Now, because both angle 1 and 7 are the same and angle 2 and 8 are the same, the conjecture or the idea that I can get from this is that alternate exterior angles are are also congruent. Okay, they are also congruent. All right, let's move on to same side interior. Okay, so same side, that means same side, they're going to be on the same side and they're going to be inside. So we're going to be inside those parallel lines. So again, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are what we're going to be using. So an example of same side interior angles would be angle 4 and angle 5. They are on the same side of that transversal. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Angle 4 is an obtuse angle, but angle 5 is an acute angle. So remember, if I have an obtuse and an acute, they're going to equal 180. So I'm going to put O plus A equals 180. Okay, I also have another set of same side interior angles, and that is going to be angle 3 and angle 6. They are on the same side of the transversal inside. So angle 3 and angle 6. So again, I can see that angle 3 is an acute and angle 6 is an obtuse. So if I have an acute and an obtuse, I know that's going to equal 180. So we can say that same side interior angles are supplementary. Sorry, that's how I hit to know how to spell it. Okay, they are supplementary. Now, same side exterior. Again, same side, and exterior is going to mean the outside. So we're going to go outside of the parallel line. So that means angle 1, angle 2, angle 7, and, angle 8, angle 7. So if I use angle 1, so on that same side of the transversal, it's going to be angle 8. Angle 1 is acute, and angle 8 is obtuse. So A and O equals 180. And I'm going to make this a smidge bigger. Okay. Now my other pair of same side exterior angles is going to be angle 2. Oops. And angle 6. Angle 2 and angle 6. Now that angle 2 is an obtuse angle, but that angle, or it is not 6, it is 7 because we are on the outside. I apologize, we are on the outside, so that's angle 7. Angle 7 is acute. So they are going to equal 180. So since they both equal 180, that means that the same side exterior angles are going to be supplementary. Okay. Vertical angles. Okay. Now, vertical angles are, we like to call them kissing angles because they look like they're kind of kissing. So, like angle 1 and angle 3 are kissing. That's a pair of vertical angles. Angle 2 and 4 are vertical angles. Angle 6 and 8, and then angle 5 and 7. So, I am going to actually make this as big as I can so we can try and put all of our vertical pairs together. And I am going to actually make this a bit smaller so we can see. So we said angle 1 and angle 3, and they are both acute. Then we have angle 2 and angle 4. Those are both obtuse. Then we have angles 5 and 7. And then finally, angles 6 and 8. So because these pairs are the same, like we have A equals A, O equals O, A equals A, and O equals O, we can say that vertical pairs are going to be congruent as well. And then we've established that supplementary angles are 180. We didn't really talk about complementary angles. We don't really talk too much about them in this unit, but you should know that they are 90 degrees. And then finally, we are going to have corresponding angles. These are a bit tricky. The best way that I can describe them is, I'm gonna write that right now, is, excuse me, top, top, or bottom, bottom. And what I mean by that is if I take angle 1, the corresponding angle to angle 1, if this is a top, here's my other top. It's going to be angle 5. Then if this is my bottom, angle 4, so angle 4, and my other bottom is angle 8. So then here's my top, angle 2, and, whoops, angle 2, here's my top. My other top is angle 6. And then finally, my bottom, angle 3, and my bottom, angle 7. So, angle 1 is acute, angle 5 is acute, angle 4 is obtuse, angle 8 is obtuse, 2 is obtuse, 6 is obtuse, 3 is acute, and 7 is acute. So because they are all the same, that means that they are congruent. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, we are done with today's notes. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you later.